Wakubwa, wakurugenzi, wapendwa watazamaji, this is Shembesa and this is FNNR, where we look at Kenyan music, we review Kenyan content, and today we're going to be looking at Man of Substance by DVK. Okay, DVK released a project last year, a lengthy project last year called Man of Substance, and for the longest time, every time I've met this guy, he's been asking me to do a review of his project and to be as honest as possible. Unfortunately, the man didn't know that if you're my friend and I'm reviewing your work, I'm usually harsher than most. So prepare for a very long ride. Number one, production. I have to admit, the production is the best thing about this project. The production is the best thing about this project. Everyone captured the essence of DVK, which has been a problem in most of his projects. He has a very unique style and sound that if you get wrong, you lose everyone. There is no in between. It's either you get it correct or you lose everyone. And I like the fact that every producer that came to this project did the thing, and none of them lost me. None of them lost us. They felt like they knew what DVK was going for. They understood who DVK was, and they got it correctly. Now, the beats capture the essence of DVK, and I feel like boom bap is the direction that DVK should look to, because it really felt like that's who he is. It really felt like that's the sound that he can champion and go for, especially with his witty lyrics, especially with his with his cheeky witty lyrics and one-liners and comedy innuendos here and there and comedy moments here and there. They felt like boom bap is the perfect contrast to what his lyrics are, and the way he raps over the beats, they are similar. So that's my opinion. I feel like DVK should become a boom bap artist full time. But hey, what do I know? Next, we're gonna talk about the mixing and mastering. The mixing and mastering was amazing. Yeah, it was clean for the most part. But however, there was a problem. There was no dynamics, so everything felt monotonous at some point. And I wish we had a bit more reverb and a bit more and laid back ad libs. I feel like I wish the tracks needed a little bit more sauce here and there. I wish we had more texture. I wish we had more dynamics. I wish we had more panning moments. Like there's so much that they could have done with this project that they didn't. I just feel like they made sure that the mixing and mastering was clean and concise, and then they're like, Duende, this is good, let's go, this is good, let's go. It isn't bad per se, but after listening to the project for a while, you'll notice that there's nothing different you're getting in terms of vocals. They are clean, but there's never a moment where you get like a sonic, I'm forgetting the word, a sonic epiphany, for lack of a better term. So hopefully in the next project they'll get it correctly. Now, lastly, we have cohesion. Wow, cohesion and lyricism. Okay, lyricism. The lyricism is quite good. Everything is witty and catchy. There's a vibe here that he's going for. And although some lines are a bit weak, for instance, mimi ni vegetable kama matawi za mboga. Man, okay, I don't know, man. I don't know about you, but I don't like such lyrics sometimes. I know I'm a fan of Boutros. I expect this from Boutros, but not DVK. But anyway, what do I know? I don't know even what to say about that. That took me out. That really took me out. But hey, because maybe the track was a bit serious. As cohesion, this is a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky. Let's talk about the problems of the project. The cohesiveness of the project is a bit weird. This is one of the most inconsistent projects ever. At some point, this guy got into a rant talking about toxic masculinity and all this shit, and I was like, that's not what you sold me, man. At the beginning of the track, you're going in a different direction. Then in the middle, you bring this shit. Then I didn't like that. Normally, I as much as artists are expected to be activists, sometimes I feel like some projects don't put the activism in. Just let people enjoy the music, And then the other problem I had with this, there were a lot of interludes. There were so many interludes that it removed me from the project. Like most of the time, I felt like I was listening to something. I was listening to a news broadcast or a TV show masters as an album, and that is a big problem for me. Now, what could they have done differently? Number one, less interludes. Number two, remove the preachiness, no preachiness. And number three, this felt like it was 3 or 4 different projects because each section had a different vibe and it was not cohesive. There was no smooth transition from one section to the next. So at some point, I found myself looking at my phone wondering, am I listening to the same project or am I listening to a different project? That is a bad thing. I feel like if DVK had divided this into 2 or 3 EPs, they would have been amazing. even kept the interludes, like 3 or 4 EPs, it would have been an amazing experience, because he has all these different ideas and I felt like they were packaged differently. Maybe his intention was to have us go on a journey, but it didn't feel like that. It wasn't a seamless transition. It was just like interlude next, interlude next. And interludes can only do so much, but I wish he had found a seamless way to navigate that. If these were different EPs, oh my god, man, it would have been a good project, because every single section is strong on its own, but when they're joined together, they feel disjointed, right? So, do I have any other thoughts? Man of Substance is an interesting listening experience. I can't say if it's good or bad. It's an interesting listening experience. For those of you who are looking for something fun, witty, and catchy, there are features here and there that are quite interesting by Lil Maina and Lucorito and a few other people. Lucorito is in this? I'm not sure, but there are a few other people in this. It's one of those projects you listen to when you want to just have a good laugh and unwind. But at the same time, there are moments here and there that have you doing critical race theory and shit. Critical gender theory and shit. So that's a problem. So it's hard for me to recommend this project. However, at the same time, it's hard for me not to recommend this project. So go listen to the project Man of Substance by DVK and let me know. Let me know what you think. Is it an amazing project? Is it a bad project? Is it an okay project? Is it a meh project? For me, it's an interesting listening experience. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's bad necessarily. But at the same time, I don't think it's great or good. It's just confusing, because I liked some elements, I didn't like others. Anyway, my name is Shiembetsa. Thank you for tuning in to FNNR. I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.